May 2nd, and here we are for another edition of 330 to Go Sports Talk Show. I am your host, Matt McGall, the one and the only, right? Exactly how you want to start your Thursday morning is listening to me, right? Exactly. That's why you're here. So, as always, like, share, subscribe, do all the above. Let me go ahead and get see, Katie already beat me to it. Good morning, Katie. You already beat me to it. Gosh, you're always so quick. She's like Susie on the spot. Isn't that like Johnny on the spot, except Katie on the spot? Katie is always right there. I think she's always the first person that tunes in. So I appreciate you, Katie. Number one fan. No questions asked. I appreciate you for already joining in. High school sports, let's get right to it. All right, let me get the banner up here right now, going across the bottom. All right, here we go. Let's roll through these. Jackson beats McKinley 12-0. Hoover edges out Louisville 6-5. Green picks up a conference victory over Perry 4-1. Copley beats Cuy.Falls 9-7. Waterloo beats Springfield 6-2. Revere beats Barberton 7-3, and Manchester edges out Canton South 5-2. On the softball side of the diamond, Springfield ladies beat Norton 14-4. Rittman 17 to Chippewas 8. Aurora a 10-0 winner over Highland. Fairless beats Northwest 11-3. Cuy.Falls beats Barberton 3-1. Dalton beats Smithville 10-0, and Triway beats Tuslaw 3-0. On lacrosse side of things, University big win over Hoban 20-4. Canton Central Catholic beats Glen Oak 10-6. Hoover beats Walsh 19-8. Wooster beats CVCA 17-9. Solon falls to Wadsworth 18-2. On the girls side of lacrosse, St. Vincent St. Mary loses to CVCA 12-5. Walsh beats Hoban 12-7. So big win for the Lady Warriors as they beat that county rival, parochial rival Hoban 12-7. Orange beats Green 8-4. Stow edges out Highland 19-6. Edges out. I don't know about that. Well, was a bad example of that. 13 goals is a big difference. So that's not quite edging, but Stow wins 19-6. Hudson beats Rocky River 13-5. And that finishes up high school sports in your area. All right. Hopefully next week, been in contact. We're hopeful to have a little baseball high school interviews coming on. So let's talk a little bit of that next week as we're getting ready for the playoffs. Speaking of baseball, even more so, Major League Baseball action. Your Guardians with a big win in the 10th inning as Quan, right? Isn't that you've been Quan? You guys have seen us post that a couple of times. He has a nice RBI in the 10th, and the Guardians edge out the Astros 3-2. Astros are probably the second team that I dislike the most in Major League Baseball. And it 100% goes back to the trash can. That, to me, was the smartest idea ever, where somebody thought that there was a guy in the, down in the dugout hitting a trash can. It was actually genius, but you cheated, and baseball is a game of integrity. So anytime that the Astros or the Yankees lose, I'm always excited. So you're correct, Katie. The catch last night, impeccable. He saved the game, won the game, right? Every play matters. So Quan, big RBI in the 10th, and it was a double, and he picks up, they pick up the 3-2 win. Also in scores going across, the Brewers beat the Rays 7-1. Adams has homers twice, has 4 RBIs, helps the Brewers beat the Rays. The Tigers beat the Cardinals 4-1. Kente Mayada has his first win of the season behind 6 innings pitched and 5 Ks. So congratulations to him. It is in the division, so it's tough for me to say congrats to him, but he does pick up his first win, and I'm sure that's a pretty special thing to be able to get your own first win in Major League Baseball, right? So Twins, a 10-5 winner over the White Sox, who the White Sox just sit in the bottom of our division, and it should become a I don't know where we should do with them. I don't know how they've gotten so bad. I really don't. I really don't know how the White Sox have gotten as bad as they are, but they are. So they lose to the Twins 10-5. The Royals, another winner, 6-1 over the Blue Jays. Seth Lugo has pitched 7 innings, has 8 Ks. It's his 5th win in his last 7 starts. So a lot of pitching. Pitching was the trend last night. I noticed as I was looking at the scores, a lot of pitchers had some really impressive nights last night. The A's beat the Pirates 4-0. The Braves beat the Mariners 5-2. Chris Sale, another 5 innings pitched, and he has 9 Ks. So great display out of Chris Sale, who used to play for the White Sox. So you're going to see a trend there. Phillies 2-1 winner over the Angels. The Phillies had 18 strikeouts as a team. That is an impressive number, except it's only if you were pitching. As a offensive side, 18 strikeouts is a lot. But Kyle Schwarber, and we all remember that name, that guy just drove me absolutely nuts when he was with the Chicago Cubs. I couldn't stand him in that World Series. Still to this day, Kyle Schwarber annoys me. But he has 2-run single, and that allows them to pick up the win even after the 18 strikeouts. The Padres, a 6-2 winner over the Reds. Jake Chenenworth has a grand slam in that game, and that is the difference maker as the Pirates pick up the win. The Yankees beat the Orioles 2-0. Marlins, a 4-1 winner over the Rockies. And the Cubs, a 1-0 winner over the Mets. Double play to end the game, and that's how the Mets fall. 1-0. Red Sox, a 6-2 winner over the Giants. Nationals, 1-0 over the Rangers. Dodgers, an 8-0 to Victors over the Diamondbacks. Andy Pages hits 2 home runs in that game, and that helps the Dodgers, who more than likely, I just see them being one of the 2 teams coming out of the West to be able to potentially make it to the World Series. And at the very end, your Guardians, again, 3-2 winners over the Astros. So we're going to flip this banner over because the NBA definitely needs their own ticker at the bottom. And your Cavs, a 104-103 winner over the Magics. Can we make this a series, Cleveland? We sure can. Hold my beer is what Cleveland basketball says. Why that was even a game. Like, we just allowed them to just body some. Franz Wagner, however you want to say it. No disrespect, but I can't pronounce anything. Okay, so that's my disclaimer. He is trying to be the villain, just trying. He is trying to be that guy if Orlando had a veteran, a true veteran leadership, locker room, playoff experience guy, Orlando wins this series. I could say the exact same thing about the Cavs, except the one guy, there's actually 2, Morris and Tristan Thompson. You guys have playoff experience. You guys have, NBA Finals experience, if I'm not mistaken. I think Morris has been there. Was he there with Boston? I can't quite remember. But we know Tristan does. So those are our locker room guys. That's what's helping us. Morris steps up in a big way because Jared Allen is nowhere to be found. Those rib injuries is a lot worse than you think. Why no Allen? Okay, there it is. Why no Allen? Thus, Aurora had to guard Banchero, and Banchero went off until Mobley got moved over to him. Yes, but Morris stepped up in a big way. He gave you a lot of minutes. That guy's just a league minimum kind of a guy right now. You're not expecting those kind of quality minutes, and we may need that. I don't know if Allen's going to be available tomorrow night, and I think we're going to get to watch the game for sure. Okay. Remember that whole debacle? Well, they totally pulled a 180 on us, right over. We thought we weren't going to get the game because of Bally's. That wasn't the case. We got to watch it. I was so excited when I turned on my YouTube. I went to the multi-screen and the game stayed on. It was like when you got your television rabbit ears way back in the day, for those listening that are old enough to remember, and you would get that picture just perfect. Okay. Just perfect that you didn't move. You didn't even walk across the floor because you were afraid that the frequency would fall off and you would lose what you're watching. I was scared to turn the channel. I was petrified because I was so excited I was able to watch it. And the way the Cavs jumped out in the beginning, Garland played awesome. The sad part is I think we need him to play like that every game. Every game. And that's asking an awful lot. The pick and roll wasn't there. You could see a couple of those. Mobley's hands down low are really sketchy. He has some weak hands, some very weak hands, where Jared Allen has always been really good about catching those oops, picking pops, and that's what Garland and Mitchell want to be able to do. So the Cavs found, I think, lightning in a bottle with Morris because you were able to get some production from the scoring that you were losing. Mobley steps up, like we had mentioned there, the comment that we had just shown. I'll put it up again. He steps up. Okay. They move him over. Banchero, that kid, first of all, he's not 250 pounds. There's no way. There is no way that guy is 250. He is bigger. That is a big, big boy. He is a problem. And Okora can't guard him. Okay. They had Strus on him a couple of times. That didn't really work. You need someone tall and lanky. The problem is Banchero is going to sit there and back down Mobley. And you know what? That might be the ticket because then that gets Orlando more into that half-court set, which I think can be a difficult for them. They want to get out. They want to run. They want to catch you in transition. They want to use the youth that they have on that team. And they have a lot. They have a lot of pieces and parts. The thing that I just wonder about them as a franchise is, are you ever going to be able to get a free agent in there? Are you ever going to be able to make that splashy trade? No, it hasn't happened by history. So if they are able to figure that out, then Orlando might become relevant in the East for years to come because they've got a ton of youth there. Except this is always my favorite for, comparison. Are they going to be the Montreal Expos of Major League Baseball and just draft really well and then just send all their players out to go have great careers on other teams? That could be the case right there. But Banchero, that kid's a problem, a serious problem. We don't have an answer for him with anybody on our team defensively. There's not. I don't feel one guy who can match up with him the entire game. So you're going to be sending them platooning things, and then it's going to step up for Franz Wagner, okay? Which I hear that name, and I think of Hans, like Nakatomi Building, like it's a diehard thing that instantly comes into my head, like Franz. But when he turns to the fans and he's like, yeah, bring it. Let me hear the boos. Stop. Okay, like see right there, that identifies to me. He knows there's a problem on their team where he has to be a leader. That's a problem. That's the problem. There's your lack of veteran leadership with Orlando. But tomorrow night, Cleveland, you better win. All right. I don't really want to see this come back to Cleveland. I don't, because I said in the show on Tuesday, you win at home, you're winning the series. That still stays relevant. But the way that Cleveland went about winning on the other night on Tuesday, my Lord. Oh, guys if I had hair, I lost it. All right. Let's start counting the gray hair here on the facial because it's going to be plentiful. Okay. If Cleveland continues to play like they do, I think they got lucky and they're going to possibly limp into that next round. And Boston at this point, who matches up with Boston better, Orlando or Cleveland? I hate to say it. I think Orlando might give Boston a better series, but I'm hopeful it's going to be Cleveland that's representing us, by winning this next game and then getting there. But Boston looks like they're on another level. They pick up a win last night. They win the series 118-84. When Jimmy Butler went down, that series was over. The Heat pick up one game in the series, and that lit a fire underneath. Jaylen Brown's the guy over there. I like Tatum an awful lot, but man, that team really goes when Jaylen Brown goes. Porzingis didn't play, having that little bit of that issue. Injury bugs starting to bite, and that's the thing with Boston. If they can stay healthy, they're the team that's going to represent out of the East. If there's ever a year, everybody's hurt, in my opinion. The quality players. Philadelphia is just trying to make that a series with the Knicks. They also pick up a crazy win, 112-106. Anybody saw the last couple of minutes of that game? Holy cow. All right. But this is exactly what comes to mind. And you guys see it right there. There it is. Reggie. Remember when Reggie threw this up at Spike? He was like, yo, you guys are choking. You guys are straight choking. That's kind of what the end of that Knicks game reminded me of. How they were up and they let Maxey hit that three and foul him. Oh my good. You're giving Philadelphia the opportunity to potentially believe they can win that series. They shouldn't. I mean, Embiid has Bell's palsy right now. Have anybody seen that? The one side of that man's face, it looks like he has had a stroke. Okay. Which anybody who knows, I only know it because I had a friend when we were in grade school that it came down with the condition for a while. It's like a nerve thing. It's crazy. I mean, the side of his face is like slouched. He's battling that and he's out there. Now, if he could have just scored a couple more points last night, somebody might have hit their parlay. So thanks a lot, Embiid, when you didn't hit that the other night. You really hurt my feelings, bud. I needed 2 more points out of you and didn't get it. But hey, you got the win, and that's all that matters. I know you weren't worried about my little pointless $5 bet, but I was, okay, because that was going to end up paying for something. All right. So, Philadelphia, make it a series. And they have at this point. But when that heads back, they're at Philly. They're at Philly tonight. We'll see. But I think New York closes it out tonight. And I think actually we're seeing 2 closeout games tonight. The other game that's going to be going on is Milwaukee, who is without Dame Dollar. They're without the Freak. They're down. The injury bug has struck Milwaukee and struck them well. But they somehow pick up a win the other night against the Pacers, 115-92 to make that a 3-2 series. Pacers still leading it, but it's in Indy tonight at 6:30. And I have a feeling that place will be rocking. Okay. That it'll be electric there in Indiana tonight. And I see them closing it out, and I see the Knicks going to Philly and closing it out. Those Philly fans sitting there watching another year where it all comes crashing down because they can't put the pieces and parts together in enough time to be able to potentially make a run. So the last one we haven't really talked about too much is the Mavs last night. They beat the Clippers 123-93, making that 3-2. Dallas is up in that. Man, Luka is just fun to watch. He really is. All right, just really fun to watch. And it got me looking at how this is going to break down. So Dallas, I think, wins that. They're going on to play the Thunder. That series, you want to talk about the future of the face of the NBA. You've got a lot of players. Wait, the game's now set for 7 p.m. All right, hang on. Let me put this up real quick. We got breaking news, right? Da-da-da. There it is. Cavs game's now set for 7 p.m. Friday night. I know exactly what I'm doing, okay? I'm going to be watching that game. So if Cavs win that night, they're taking on Boston. We know this. We got on my prediction, the Knicks close out the 76ers tonight. They're going to be playing the Pacers. Man, does this not feel like 1995 again, huh? Where's like Marv Albert, the Pacers and the Knicks going at it? Oh, and that's exactly it. So there's where we might be using that Reggie Miller choke thing in the next series too, when the Knicks and the Pacers match up. But I'm looking at this Dallas matching up with the Thunder, and that is the future faces of the NBA. A ton of youth on there. I really think Dallas is going to win that series too. And I'm wondering, can Luka and Kyrie stop Denver? That's all this is coming down to. Okay, Minnesota. The only thing that would have been better would have seen Minnesota and the Thunder going at it. That's got a ton of youth on there. But and it would have been cool because then Dallas would have just played Denver right there in the second round. So I just want to see Dallas and Denver match up. Nobody's beaten Denver, in my opinion. I've already put my future bet in. I've already said it on here. Denver wins the whole thing. But that's the prediction coming out. So at the end, I think we're going to see Boston and Denver in the finals. And we'll see how that matchup kind of goes. That's going to have to really, really have a healthy Porzingis to beat Denver. So the NBA is definitely shaking up. There's a lot going on. Katie says Friday nights on ESPN, so people might be able to watch this time. You are right. You are right, Katie. They did let us on the other night, like I had mentioned. I was afraid to turn the channel, but other people started chiming in, and I went to just the normal screen and YouTube TV. Thank you for allowing us to watch what we've paid for. I appreciate you. It all worked out to be able to watch the Cavs and be able to complain about it. And we got to win. I was nervous being able to sit there and watch to see if they would even pick up a win. Other news going on in Cleveland. The local officials, guys, I'm going to call it now. The Browns are getting a new stadium. All right. I just want to go on record. That's my prediction. I don't know with absolute certainty, but the way that everything seems to be going, they want a dome. And I just do not see them renovating the current Cleveland Browns stadium into a dome. It's not happening. It's not. And this is the type of stuff that they want to be able to do in the NFL. All right. If you guys happen to have seen some of the stuff that's going to be going on with the Chargers facilities right there, that's just their practice. Okay. That's cool. That's cool in that sense. That's a neat little complex right there. There's the football field. I'm sure we see Jim Harbaugh out there digging in his nose somewhere, but the rest of it here, let me pull up the rest. There's a couple of other pictures of it if you guys want to be able to see. Here's some of the indoor, because, you have to have a lounge. I'm sure that's where all, Herbert and who else is out there with the Chargers? They drafted the kid out of Notre Dame, the guard. It looks like that's where they're going to be lounging when they're getting their pedicures, manicures. I'm not really sure what all that is there, but that's going to be potentially at their facilities. Here's kind of another area. It looks like it might be press box, maybe lounge kind of area, turf, offices, the cafeteria. It's different, really different. There's the workout facility. That is cool. That's nice looking. You can't knock that. State of the art kind of things. And then the actual field, where was the actual field? I guess that's just their new facility that they're going to be putting up as their practice facility. But that's what these guys want. That's what the NFL wants. State of the art kind of stuff. And when you look at the Cleveland Browns stadium, it's nice. I know they put the jumbo screens up a couple of years ago and they added it all that, and that's great. But at the end of the day, I don't necessarily think it's just about the NFL or even baseball, or, definitely basketball doesn't come into play because there's already a roof on that. But you want the roof at these NFL stadiums because they want to be able to have extracurricular things there, other concerts, other events. And the roof allows for, torrential downpours to not be a problem. Okay. So even down there where they were talking about Jacksonville's got a concept of stuff they're talking about. That's where everything's trending. That's why I see way too much. We saw the Chicago Bears the other day, and that state-of-the-art facility that's going to be going up. The Cleveland Browns need that. We need that just to stay in the realm of free agency of people wanting to come here because of that. We used to think that who wants to come and sign in Cleveland? Who vacations in Cleveland? Nobody ever says I'm going to Cleveland for vacation. Okay. That's okay. We're blue collar. You come here to see the rock and roll and you can get out, catch a flight in the morning, get out. But to NFL players, they're not, some of them live here full time. Some of them don't. Most of them don't really. They might have a place here, but they're staying back where they, originally were born from in the off season. So they want facilities, they want state-of-the-art stuff, they want a great gym, good workout, spas, health and wellness, all that stuff is what these guys take into consideration when they're signing. So if you don't have those items in Cleveland, who are you going to get? We're going to go down the whole world again. Remember when we had LaCharles Bentley? There's a name. Do you guys remember that guy? We were so excited when we signed him away from the Saints. We're like, oh, we've got LaCharles Bentley, and he got a staph infection. Okay. There was 7 years where everybody on the Browns team was getting staph infections. You know what that is? That just means it's dirty. Okay. I'm obviously not a doctor. Okay. I don't even speak intelligent enough to be thought of as a doctor, but a staph infection just sounds dirty. Does it not? Well, that's why. Okay. And then we eradicated that problem. We haven't really seen it, but I swear, go back and look at that. Our free agents, there was Eric Steinbach too. Remember we got him out of Cincinnati? Staph infection. Okay. It was ridiculous. We're just handing them out popsicles. Come up to Cleveland. We'll give you guys a staph infection. Awesome. Thanks a lot. I want to come there as a free agent. Not. So now, fast forward, 20 years, okay? That's why they need these facilities. So hopefully I'm for it because I want to see, I'd like to see a Super Bowl in Cleveland. I'd like to see the Browns play in that Super Bowl, but that might not happen in my lifetime. Okay. I hope it does. But they could still have Super Bowl here. We want that. Wouldn't that be awesome to be able to go to the Super Bowl? Have it in your backyard, even the festivities, probably getting a ticket there is absolutely outrageous. Okay. But the facility or the events going around that day, it's no different than when the draft was here. It's awesome. That kind of stuff brings revenue and it makes Cleveland prosper. And I'm completely 1000% for it. So there is talk. There is a concept out there. I did not want to share it because I kind of felt like maybe somebody created it. It wasn't actual true. A lot of jokes that it looks just like Great Wolf Lodge. It might be. I don't know. But once that does come true, guys, go and Google it. There's some images floating around of what the potential facility looks like. But once that becomes factual, I will 100% then share it on here. So like I said, next week, we are looking to have a high school baseball coach come on and hopefully get the interview going. Okay. Either this next week or the week after. I'm working on it because we got high school playoffs are about to start for baseball and softball. So figure get a coach on here, be able to talk a little bit about that. This evening, I should say, Sam's going to be jumping on here on the 330 to go social media pages. He's going to be talking a lot of Cavs. He's going to break it down even more, getting ready for tomorrow night when the Cavs hopefully end this series in Orlando. 7:00 ESPN Friday night. Oh my, you guys should be playing. Everybody right now should be getting their adult Lunchables charcuterie boards. Okay. That's what it is. A charcuterie board is an adult Lunchable. That's all it is. Okay. Get those ready. Invite everybody over. It's going to be hopefully a nice night. Today looks gorgeous. I'm looking outside right now. You're looking behind me. You see that. It looks beautiful back there. That's exactly what Akron looks like as we get ready for the Cavs to hopefully win the series tomorrow night. So back here again on Tuesday morning, 9 a.m. Happy to be able to talk a potential Cavs series win. And we will be wrapping up some of the other high school sports in the area. Again, anybody, if you have student athletes that you'd like to highlight, please go in, find our Google Doc form, fill it out, share it on here. I got no problem plugging anybody whatsoever. Let me just make sure. There was a bunch of comments that popped in, and Schwarber and Buck. Yeah, that was definitely 100% it. I saw there. This was it when I was on my Schwarber. Joe Buck, seriously, I think it's Kyle Schwarber's father. The way that Joe Buck describes Kyle Schwarber, it's like googly eyes. Ugh. There's another one. That's like putting Bally's up there. You'll just get me to start making that face. Ugh. That's what I think. Joe Buck just loved him some Kyle Schwarber. God, he loved him that series. So annoying. So, guys, back here again, 9 a.m. Tuesday morning. Till then, enjoy the weekend. Get outside. Seriously, get outside. Okay? It's too nice. Go hit some golf balls. Go to the park. Get around. There's a lot going on. Check our 330 to go page for anything that's going on in the area. Always trying to bring you guys some of the live latest action and any of the news in your guys' area. So I am Matt McGall, and thank you once again for joining me on this 330 to go sports talk show on this Thursday morning. And I will see you back here Tuesday, 9 a.m. Everybody have a great weekend. Take care.